Randy Duck and welcome back for another video, and today I've got two replays to show you in the tier 8 tech tree French light tank, the Bat Châtillon 12 ton. Now I've basically been buying back some old tanks which I haven't played for a long time, and this is one of them, and I've had a lot of fun playing this light tank. So here we are on the first replay here on Airfield, where we are on tier 9 matchmaking with one artillery in the game, 2 enemy light tanks, and we are platooned up with our good pal Swindle 321. So we go to a pretty standard position on Airfield at the start of the game here, and just trying to see if we can spot any of the cross, see if we can get any early damage in from that sort of hill location. But I've, looking at the the left hand side of the map where our light tank is currently located, it's given me the sense of confidence that I can actually push up to this location and take a more advanced position and put the enemy under a little bit more pressure. You can't always take this location, but sometimes the enemy team don't contest it, and they've kind of allowed me to do so, and I've got there early enough to spot the heavy tanks coming in and those camping tank destroyers at the on that sort of standard TD position. But with the cover of our TD where he's currently located, if any tanks want to try and push me in this location, at least I know they are going to get shot, and hopefully that will put the enemy team off pushing up and trying to shoot us. I do have to be careful with the enemy artillery who can shoot me where I'm currently located, but as it stands, he's not really paying attention to myself, and that's good news to me. I'm just trying to detect this waffle and see if we can get a few shots in. Really don't want to eat it one, but I'm going to try and get my clip away here as I do, dropping my 4 shells into that waffle and actually setting them on fire and boosting our damage. You do have a 4-shot autoloader on this tank with 170 alpha per shot, so it's a really nice little clip because you don't have a very long reload at all, so it doesn't take you that long to get back in the fight once you're on reload, and you feel like you're always constantly doing something in this tank. And yeah, like I say, I hadn't played it for a long time. I free-marked it a long time ago. Thought I'd get it back out of the garage, and yeah, it's had a lot of fun. You see, we damaged the ammo rack of that Tiger 2. Would love to put another shot in and set that ammo rack off, but that wasn't quite possible. A little bit concerned about the heavy tanks in front of us here, but as you can see, I've got support by that medium tank destroyer, and hopefully that will put them off pushing me, because yeah, I don't really want it to happen. Unfortunately, this enemy tank destroyer has decided to full send me. He is going to lose his tank in order to do so, but he's probably going to put 2 shots into us. Unfortunately, I bounced that shot off of his gun, so I'll take the time to aim the final shot, and we do at least take him out. So we lost quite a lot of hit points there, but to be honest, that Panzerjäger is an incredibly powerful tank destroyer, so to be able to take one of those out of the game, it's well worth the loss of hit points there. And now we're going to try and get free farms into this heavy tank as he's leaving there. Put 2 shots in, and then he gets taken out by our K-Ream. We're on to about, what, 2,000 damage now, and 1 kill. But the enemy artillery has started to look our way, and we don't really want to play any more of that games over there. So we decided that we're going to, we had a good, we did well in that position, but that position sort of outlived itself for me, and I'm going to try and relocate is what you could do in a light tank, use its great mobility, try and find a different angle approach and see if we can get a bit more from this damage out of this game, because we are definitely winning this game. It's the enemy team are pinned back, and there's a good chance we are going to get the W here, but it's definitely not completely over yet, so we do want to be a little bit careful we don't throw the game away. Enemy Italian tank destroyer gets medium, so it gets taken out behind us, which allows us to start paying attention into this enemy tank destroyer. We do get detected here, but we're risking it to try and get our clip away. We saw the ammo rack, we wanted to try and ammo rack that tank. Wasn't quite possible, but we do at least get a full clip in, take no damage in return. Putting ourselves onto about 3,000 damage now, 1 kill and 5 enemy tanks remaining. It's all about how much damage we can get out of the remaining tanks now, because this game is pretty much won. I think this really can only be one location for the enemy fun place in the artillery left, and that's sort of up here on the right. So we're heading that way to try and make see if we can get a clip into this artillery. We do spot him there. We don't really want to get a shotgun, but he's not quite paying attention. I'm just going to gamble that he's going to miss that shot. Like I say, it was full snap, so I would have been unlucky if he would have hit that. We get 2 shots in, and now we're going to just try and see if we can get a couple of shots into that tank destroyer, but it gets taken out. So we go on a full reload with the 3 tanks remaining, all pretty much in this corner. We're just waiting for a little bit of support of our team, waiting for our reload, and then we'll go in and see if we can get that last clip off of damage before we bring this game to an end. Here's the enemy Brass. He has fired one of the shots. We put 2 shots into him, hoping we can get the finish here, but it gets shut down by our friendly Type 59 before we're able to. Chuck a last shell into the artillery, and now we need to try and pull back because this enemy light tank could kill us while we're on reload, but he is paying attention to the opposite tank in front of me. What about just shy of 4,000 damage now with 1 kill? And do we have an opportunity to just get a couple more shots in this artillery? Would be nice. Put one in through his track wheel, and we might actually just be able to pick up this final kill, which we do, and brings us then to replay number 1. But we're still one more replay to come. Let's see how we got on, and then we'll move on to that final replay. So we finish off with 2 kills, 4,000 damage, 406 assistance, and the ace tanker and the high caliber in the tier 9 lobby. And that's it for replay number 1. See you in a bit for replay number 2. Okay, so here we are for replay number 2. Again, we are platooned up with Swindle 321. There is 2 enemy light tanks in the game, and this time it is tier 10 matchmaking, so we are bottom tier. We are on Hidden Village, which, let's be honest, is not a fantastic map for light tanks, but we're just going to have to try and make do. And initially we decided that we're going to push the right hand side of the map, because I don't really want to fight the left. You know, being in that light tank, my options are very limited, and we're just going to go and scout this area out first and just see if enemy team push it. If they do push it, we may have to fall back here, but let's at least get the vision first, and then we can find out what we are dealing with. So I'll reverse round just so I've got a quick escape if all of a sudden I come around this corner and there's lots of enemy tanks. But as it stands, the enemy team hasn't really pushed it, which is kind of ideal for us because it allows us to now, you know, extend our vision a little bit, or try and use our camo, and just try and do what a light tank really does, albeit on a map which is not very well suited to a light tank. So we do spot that enemy Conqueror, but we don't actually, you know, this is one of those times where it'd be nice to have artillery in the game, because I could spot that Conqueror and he could get shot by the artillery fairly easily. But we don't have the enemy artillery, so no one really has shots at that Conqueror at the moment. Enemy Centurion starts to move in, and we put 1 shot into him there. We're just trying to get rid of some destructible cover here so we can get some shots at this enemy tank destroyer. And we've got to be a little bit careful, because if that Centurion gets any closer to us, he's probably going to spot us. And like I say, this is tier 10 matchmaking. There could be some nasty tank destroyers left on the hill, and I've got to be a little bit careful. But I think the plan is in a minute to try and get some shots into the light tank on the left, which maybe I should have been trying to shoot at early, to be fair. But we do spot that enemy, track the enemy Centurion, and he gets annihilated by our friendly Waffle E100 there. So that's that threat dealt with. Enemy Conqueror exposes his lower plate to us. We do manage to squeeze in a shot before he gets into cover there. And now we're going to see if we can get our last shell away into this enemy light tank. But we're just going to go on to reload because we don't really have the shots. As you can see, a very close game still. You know, from this position, I do have the option of, you know, if the enemy team win the heavy flanks, I can't really fight and brawl up there, you know, with this light tank, but I can pull back to the other side to cover them if the enemy team win that side, if that makes sense. But for the time being, I'm just going to get as much damage in as I can at these opportunic moments. We do manage to get 2 shots into that enemy Iron Rain and put 1 shot in which damages track blind. And this enemy Conqueror here is fairly low now. So it'd be nice to try and deal with that Conqueror. If that Conqueror gets taken out, it actually gives us a lot more freedom on this map. We're going to try and take out the enemy light tank, which has probably been a bit of a nuisance to my team, and maybe I should have focused that light tank earlier on. But, you know, we haven't, so now we're going to try and get them shots in. We get 2 shots in, going to try and get the 3rd shot in. Should have the kill shot here, and unfortunately the kill shot misses, which is a pain, because I would have loved to have taken out that enemy light tank, and just, yeah, it's always going to make our life easier if that tank is destroyed. So far we've had a fairly slow start to the game, and the game's still pretty even. We have managed to get about 1,000 damage in though, and we've just got to try and be, like I say, there's a lot of tanks which can still be on that sort of camp destroyer location, that hill, and if we get detected there, we could be in all sorts of trouble very, very quickly. So we are being careful. We have managed to pick up a little bit of assistance here, but we're starting to lose the game, and it kind of looks like to me that we're gonna lose the other side, and I might actually need to turn back here and cover our friendly team. So as they push over, I will be able to try and act more as a tank destroyer. Like I say, your options on Hidden Village, do become a little bit limited there. So they haven't quite pushed far enough for me to get shots in though. So I'm gonna quickly go back over this side just in case any of these tank destroyers have got a little bit, decided to push up a little bit further. Because if I catch them out in the open, I do want to just make sure that I'm not going to get snuck up on them on both angles. But I'm not really spotting anything at the moment. Not is what I'd like to. I'm starting to really kind of test my luck how far I'm pushing down. But now what you see, we are 2 tanks down. So it's still very much in the balance. We still have Swindle 3-2-1 with us on the other side, so we can kind of let us know exactly what's happening over that side, and if I need to come back a little bit earlier. But I get detected there by that enemy tank destroyer, and now I'm trying to just use these buildings and escape really. Swindle does shut down the enemy Ruthless, a tier 10 tank destroyer, which is good. And that's going to help us out and brings the score a little bit even to about 8 versus 9. But I definitely need to come over here and help my team now, because they've pushed into a position where I can in fact get shots into them. So going to focus out this enemy grill. Obviously tier 10 tank, would love, easy for me to pen, and a very dangerous tank. So I do connect all 4 shells into that enemy grill, dumping him down to half health, putting us onto about 2,000 damage. And I'm just going to kind of knock down a couple of these trees just to boost our concealment and see if we can finish off some of these tanks here. Hopefully should be able to get the kill on this enemy E75, but he just gets around in the cover. We do shut down that enemy heavy tank grill. Unfortunately snapshots Swindle as he comes around that corner on the move. So we got a bit unlucky there. We do dump our clip in. We don't roll high enough to finish him off, but he then gets shut down by our friendly Panzerjäger. Bring this to a 3 versus 5, so it's definitely not won yet. And as I come around here, this Panzerjäger spots us. We manage to evade this shot. Now we know we've got the kill on this tank. Even if he puts 1 or maybe 2 shots into us, we're going to be able to kill him, and we just need to take him out there and then. And that's exactly what we do, picking up our second kill. Putting us at about 2,600 damage now, bringing it back to a 3 versus 4. Where the enemy team have 1 heavy tank, 1 light tank and 2 tank destroyers. Now, I don't actually know where this enemy light tank is. It's a tier 10 Panzer, and I haven't spotted that tank all game. So I was starting to think, is he AFK? He could potentially be AFK here. So the 2 tank destroyers, we know where they are. They've just been spotted. One of them gets shut down by our friendly Ho-Re there. And then we then get detected by the enemy Conqueror, which has managed to sneak round on us. He puts 1 in. We're hoping we can finish him off before he actually reloads here. And unfortunately bounce a kill shot, which is a real shame. We can't really afford to eat another shot off of that Conqueror now, so we've got to be very, very careful. At least we do know he is a 1 shot. I would have loved to kill that tank though, because I don't really want to get pincered here. But as you can see, I can't eat another shot, so I'm going to try and create a little bit of distance from me. The only tank I'm really concerned about is where is this enemy tank, light tank, tier 10 light tank, because I haven't spotted him all game. I'm starting to think he's definitely AFK here. He does get spotted, and I think, yeah, he must be AFK, so I'm just going to farm this Iron Rain as he gets caught out in the open. But then that light tank starts moving, and I'm thinking, oh right, maybe he wasn't AFK after all, and I'm in all sorts of trouble. We're in a 3 versus 2, but this tier 10 light tank is very, very healthy. Enemy Conqueror, we try and finish him off there. He shoots, he misses. Hopefully we can see him get a shot in, but unfortunately this light tank is coming around to us. He puts 1 in, puts us into a 1 shot. Now I'm in a lot of bother here because that Conqueror is still alive. I can't keep circling this without risk of getting shot by the Conqueror, but I'm going to have to risk it because otherwise it's a guaranteed death to the enemy light tank. Thankfully I move round and the Ho-Re shuts down that light tank, and that gives us an option now to shoot the Conqueror. As you can see, the Conqueror has just fired and missed, so we're going to see if we can finish him off here. We missed that shot. Go for another one. Oh no, what is happening? But thankfully our third shot goes into the lower plate and takes him out and brings us an end to that replay. And we finished that off with just shy of 4,000 damage and 4 kills with 1,000 assistance in the bottom tier matchmaking. And yeah, we have a good ace tanker there, considering a poor map and yeah, being bottom tier. So that is it for the replay. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do like it, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And as always, happy tanking.
Hadouken!